Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. There ain't always gonna walk through the door. There just might be some strategy in this. Just having fun with our special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
And I'm Justin Ham. Hi, we're here again, and it's time to talk about some serious things with Transformers. Julian, you are a big Transformers fan. I also pretty decent sized Transformers fan. I don't think I am as I don't think I pale in comparison to you is what I'm trying to say. That doesn't mean I don't like them at all. I love the Transformers. But have you ever thought about like how sad Spike's life had to have been, like, to some degree, like when it first, like up to the point when the Transformers came there, like he was working with his dad on an oil rig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently his canonical age, like at the beginning of the cartoon, is like 15.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I always thought he was supposed to be like 18 minimum.
No.
But no.
No,
I mean, it was a very different time.
He's living with his... I don't know if he's living with his father. I assume he is, right? Because he's a minor. And he's working on an oil rig with his father's spark plug. That was his name. I had to look that up because I could not remember what the hell that guy's name was. Sad story, Sparkplug. I like they just kind of forgot he existed at some point in the show. It's kind of fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great. But yeah.
That actually happened quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
I actually prefer Sparkplug in the Marvel comics because he's a mechanic,
right?
Which makes sense because his name is Sparkplug.
Yeah.
And that's kind of part of how he gets involved, is that he ends up repairing Bumblebee,
right,
at the very beginning of the book. But
sure.
Spike, this must have been one of those things where they were still not sure like who the characters were going to be yet, because Spike is not in the comic series for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's actually Buster, Spike's brother.
Right. Yes.
But in the original miniseries, Buster has a girlfriend. Shit, I'm forgetting her name now because she's actually like a recurring character that's in other stuff, including Carly. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Carly's in like a lot of other stuff.
Sure.
Including other iterations of the show and whatnot. And then he has a friend named Otis, or O for as a nickname. Otis just like vanishes.
Yeah.
Pretty much immediately after the miniseries.
Yeah.
Carly comes back around a few times. Yeah, and then at a certain point, the humans kind of vanish because, like,
a lot of it, yeah.
There was GB Blackrock, who was originally supposed to be Tony Stark.
Sure.
But once they decided to distance Transformers from the core Marvel universe, it actually made it was the right call.
Probably. He
actually makes a deal with the Autobots to like provide them with fuel for them, basically protecting his affairs from the Decepticons.
Okay, that's fair.
But he kind of disappears partway through, and then he reappears like towards the end of the series. Anyway, but that's a very different thing.
This is why I brought this up with Julian, because I knew he'd have history for me. I just happened so there's an Amazon Prime channel that just shows a bunch of Transformers on it. Like, it's all mixed up. It never goes in order or anything, but they happen to show like that first episode, and I was like, what the fuck, man? Like Spike just is always wearing a hard hat, and like he's just this kid just working on a fucking oil rig with his dad. That sounds miserable. Like, thank God the Transformers showed up Well, really, the Decepticons did, because they were like, that seems like a good place to like blow up or whatever the fuck. I can't remember what they were doing. I think they wanted the oil for
They wanted
Energon or
energy.
something.
They wanted the oil.
Yeah. Which, if I remember correctly, they obtained by just putting it into some clear cubes, and then suddenly it's Energon, and nobody asked questions about that.
That was actually a big thing in the comic was them trying to figure out how to convert energy supplies from Earth into Energon cubes.
Sure.
But yeah, in the cartoons, just like they can just
they
do it.
They just do it. Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, they just do it. It's great. Man, that show's wild.
Yeah, it's funny that you brought that up, because I realized that I don't actually own the entire original series, and it happened to be on sale this week, so I picked that up, and it just came in today.
Yeah, they have it on like DVD. Yeah, I think I bought it not too long ago. The other one I watched that was fascinating was like, it's post movie. It's post movie Transformers, because like at some point there's like a time jump, right? And that's the movie. At some point, like they go to some planet that just like they just start doing weird space shit. Like that was the point. The concept became the concept of the show, which was great. There's just like they got on some planet that was like, oh, everybody here sings to talk. That's what they do. Where are we going with this? I don't know. That was just it. Like it is one of the Autobots kept having to translate for the other one, and I'm like,
was it Wheelie?
It was not Wheelie, believe it or not. I want to say it was Perceptor who had to keep being like, no, he said this. But I can't remember. But the thing is, there's talking in English, which is a miracle that English is so widespread throughout the galaxy.
Look, we don't. It's
my
universal translators. We don't question it.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite bit ever at all times. But like this, the characters are like singing, and he's like, "What did they say?" And it's like he clearly like, do you just have no rhythm? Are you? What is happening? Oh man, what a great show. I think my favorite of the ones that aren't like the original series so far is I think Armada's pretty cool. I think that's the one that like is kind of anime looking.
Yeah, that was the first series that we got in the United States after Beast Machines.
Beast Wars?
Well, there was Beast Wars, then Beast Machines.
Oh, was there Beast Machine? Okay, yeah.
I like to pretend that Beast Machines doesn't exist.
Yeah,
it's trash.
I think the channel I'm watching likes to pretend it doesn't either. So you're not alone.
No, it's a good thing.
Yeah,
Beast Wars might be if I really have a good heart to heart myself.
Yeah. With
myself, that might be the best bit of non-comic book Transformers anything.
A lot of people say that. That. Yeah. I never got into that one, and mostly because even at the time when it came out, I wasn't super high on the like 3D model stuff. I thought it was kind of weird looking. But
it is, and it doesn't hold up.
Oh, it especially holds up bad now. Yeah.
Except for the fact, if you remember that, like, TV didn't do that back then, right? It was Reboot and then Beast Wars, which was by the same people. Yep. But at the same time, like, writing-wise and character-wise, and then also the way that it ties into the Generation 1 canon is some of the best stuff.
So
I actually do recommend, like, I would tell you, like, do yourself a favor, and if you can find like the whole series on DVD, just get it and watch it all. I think you would love it.
That'd probably be pretty all right. The other one that I found interesting, I don't remember which series it was. It was not Armada. It was one of the weirder ones that came on probably like Saturday mornings or something. I only seen this one episode of it. Well, I've seen multiple episodes of it, but I can't ever. Because they show them all just like, here's this one and then here's a different series. It's really weird. But like the one episode I watched of this one, I was like, this is actually cool as shit. Was they went to some planet that was like a speed planet. and Blur was there, and he didn't talk like Blur, which instantly pissed me off. But I looked aside, not counting that, right? I mean, so they're like racing, and there's this whole thing. It's like, I think it's Bumblebee and some other one of the other ones, and Blur, and they're racing. Blur is from this planet. He knows all the tracks and stuff, so he's got an advantage. He's cocky. But all of a sudden, like, you see this guy walking through the planet, and like his arms kind of fucked up, and he's carrying these suitcases, and like, and he's like, people are like, he's getting people out of his way and all this shit. And then all of a sudden, like, apparently, long story short, he unleashes a plague of rust on this fucking planet, and it just starts like eating through everything, and like it starts like fucking everybody up and shit. I was like, this is cool. This is actually pretty all right. Terrifying in its own way, but pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a wild series.
Sounds a little bit like the Scraplets from the Marvel comic series, but not quite.
Yeah, it's apparently in this series they're like, oh shit, I've heard about this. This is real bad, like the rust plague or some shit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The last thing that I watched in its entirety was Transformers Animated, which, if you can get past the art style, is also a really well written series. Like it's kind of fantastic. And I've heard nothing but wonderful things about Prime, which is that CG one I think that's the only animated series to have both Peter Cullen and Frank Welker reprise their roles.
Yeah, I think I've
the
seen
original.
bits and pieces of that one. Yeah. Transformers, catch the fever. Poor Spike though. I'm glad, he found his place in the world. It wasn't on an oil rig. That's good. Yeah. He learned to transform, apparently. I don't know. I don't really remember.
Yeah, I mean, he was on that moon base.
He was on that moon base. Jazz.
With Bumblebee.
Was it Bumblebee or Jazz? Cool... It was Bumblebee.
He was with Bumblebee.
Yeah. Jazz.
I remember even as a little kid, it made me. For some reason, I can remember almost every single thought that I had in 1986 watching that movie in the theater.
Jazz,
and I remember being elated that Spike was with Bumblebee.
That makes sense. They were always together in the show. So yeah.
Also, incidentally, Dennis Robertson had posted it in our Discord, but I watched the whole thing. There was this incredible video essay recently that talked about there is like a very different pitch for the TV series after the pilot.
Oh, really?
That would have been dire.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been one of those things where like we would not be talking about Transformers 40 years later.
Not,
like
no.
it would have been like one of those like more forgotten cartoons, like the Mighty Orbots level of memory hole, right? Like I'm not even going to say like GoBots level of people remembering it. People still remember GoBots, but no one remembers the Mighty Orbots. Or the Bionic Six, right? Like,
yeah, I don't remember any of those. Yeah,
it would have been a thing where I would have watched it as a kid and liked it because it was like robots.
Sure,
but that's where it would have stopped there. Like it would not have been the cultural milestone for me that it was.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I'm
glad we had that because I have some like sad stuff to kick this episode off with, and some bad news on top of that. So
sorry.
I was listening to the Nerds of Broadcast show recently, and TB, one of the hosts, was talking about how much he liked the War of the Worlds game for Xbox Live Arcade, and I was like, that's the craziest thing I have ever heard, because I reviewed that game for Pixelbit, and so I went to Pixelbit to go find my review to share with the Let's Play Princess Phoebe, to be like, because I told her like I can never trust anything this man says ever again.
Yeah,
if he thinks that this game was great.
Yeah,
but when I went to Pixelbit, because for new listeners, I know we've got like people checking us out from Giant Bomb. Welcome. I used to write for a website called pixelbit.com. That's also where our previous show, Nerds Without Pants, was hosted. Yeah. And I had not been to Pixelbit in quite some time because we're no longer doing the show out of there. So I haven't been writing for them. Right. So I don't make a point to visit there very often.
Right.
And when I went there, the site director, Nick, had posted an article in memory of Michael Alvarado,
Okay.
who apparently had committed suicide recently. Now, people who have been with me for a long time know that name, or they might know him better as Michael117.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
Got it.
and it's weird to think that I might have like fans. I don't even like saying that, right? Because I feel like, who the fuck are you to say that you have fans, right? But just for like the shorthand, Michael117 was my first fan. Back when I was blogging on oneup.com, just blogging. It's not like I ever had any articles featured on the actual like big boy part of the website, right? It was just the user blogs.
Sure.
For whatever reason, he found my stuff and he really liked my writing, and I inspired him to write his own blog, and he was just like he would comment on every single thing that I would write.
Right.
And then I started writing a Pixel Bit. But when the big one-up apocalypse happened, when the whole staff got laid off and the website was imminent, like on its last legs, a lot of people moved from there to Pixelbit, and a big part of that was because of Michael117, because he had been reading my stuff on Pixelbit and other people and the other people's stuff, and he was like, hey, this is a really good community, like you guys should come over here. He was responsible for bringing a ton of people over from OneUp to Pixelbit. And then when I started podcasting, first with Pixel Talk and then with Nerds Without Pants, Michael117 was the person that would comment on the episodes. And we used to joke about the Michael117 wall of text, because he would do like an essay almost for every episode.
I remember that. Yeah.
And in those early days, I was basically doing that show for other Pixelbit staff and Michael117, because he was like the only person outside of Pixelbit that was commenting on the stuff and everything. And there's a not zero chance that, because it's hard for me to remember that we're talking 14 years ago now, but I'm sure there were times where I thought about ending the show because, like, the technical difficulties were just insane back then. It was a lot harder to do remote podcasting. There would be episodes, like entire episodes lost. Because like we would record and then it's like, oh, that's unusable. That type of stuff would happen, or scheduling issues or whatnot. And there was a part of me that was like, but Michael loves this show. Right. So let me press on. Yeah. And so in a large way, like, without Michael117, we're not here talking in these microphones for this show right now.
Yeah.
Just 100%. And I don't remember, Justin, if he was, because we kind of lost touch and he stopped, like, he kind of got behind, and then, he wasn't really like engaging with the show as much. But by that point we had like an audience, and I'm sad to say that, like, I was like, I was kind of sad, but I didn't reach out to him like I probably should have more often. But I remember one time specifically where I was like, hey man, like, we're gonna have like Rob on, like you might want to like comment or whatever. It was like an anniversary show, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll be sure to be there. And so he did a big wall of text for that. But I don't recall if he listened to any of the Justin era episodes or not.
I don't remember either, now that you mention it.
And so what I'm trying to say is that I don't know if he ever was aware of like us transitioning to this show, or if he even, had been listening to us like for, because you were on for what was that, from 2019 to 2023, so like 4 years worth of those shows, if he had caught any of that. But he was a huge cheerleader of me and us and like what, like, my body of work. And I know he was like quite a bit younger than me. I want to say around 10 years, maybe a little bit more than that. But I don't know where he was in life to take his life. As someone who has had suicidal thoughts a lot over the last 5 years, like, it's hard for me to say that, like, oh, it's an individual, it's a personal choice, right? And I don't, maybe it's for the best for him, obviously not for the people around him, but
Yeah.
it hit me like really hard, and I had to say something on the show.
Absolutely.
And so
I'm
this
glad you
episode
did.
is dedicated to Michael Alvarado, aka Michael117.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And my heart goes out to his family, and it just threw me for a loop.
Yeah, that's always wild when something like that happens, for sure. Wow. Yeah, no, as soon as you said the name, I was like, oh God, yeah, I know who that is now that you mention it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you went back and listened to all the old episodes.
I sure did.
You knew.
I remember Michael117. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I posted about it in our Discord, and then like the old listeners were like, oh shit. Like, they worth also taking some time to say like, hey, check in on your friends, right? Like,
absolutely.
See how they're doing. Like, especially, we're all more and more isolated these days and kind of more in our little bubbles and stuff like that. And sometimes we forget to check in on people. I know I'm guilty of it.
Oh, me too.
I kind of get into this thing where it's like, well, if they want to talk to me, they'd call me, and it's like, well, but maybe it's the other way around too, asshole.
Right,
like,
yeah.
and it's like it's hard to remember that.
Yeah.
And now also some other bad news to heap on there. For the last couple of weeks of the show, I have been promoting the Bitmap Books Guide to Super Nintendo JRPGs.
Yeah.
Which was headed up by Moses the Well-Read Mage.
Yeah.
I also contributed to that book.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be on this week.
Sure.
To talk about the book and whatnot. And some comments surfaced in the last week or so that caused a lot of shit.
I see.
And it got to the point where Bitmap Books basically said, we weren't aware of all of this stuff. We take this very seriously. We've talked to him, and we're going to he's going to dedicate all of his all of his royalties to charity.
I see.
And I know he he was the one that said, hey, I'm going to decline the offer. Like, this has been a really big deal.
Yeah.
And, I feel really shitty about what happened. For my part, well, I'll get to that in a little bit. I had seen some of the shit that was going down, and I was like, well, you're still welcome to come on the show anytime that you want, and, we can talk about it or whatever. And he said, I really appreciate that. I still feel really bad for what I said. It was not the right way to handle that particular situation,
right.
Blah, blah, blah. But then a few days later, Bitmap made another announcement where they had talked to the person that had basically resurfaced this exchange.
Okay.
The person that was involved in the original exchange.
Sure.
And I guess on their part, they didn't mean for it to blow up the way that it did. They basically just brought it up because they don't like the Well-Read Mage, and the two of them have ongoing beef.
Sure.
Right. And so with that in mind, Bitmap decided, okay, we're still going to go forward as planned, blah, blah, blah. We think that Moses should get all of his royalties, blah, blah, blah. It's okay, that's fine. And then Moses's reaction to that was to post a video talking about buy the book to basically put a thumb in the eye of cancel culture. And that rubbed me the wrong way.
Interesting.
So what I can say for my part, for my experience with the Well-Read Mage, is that he and I have been mutuals on Twitter for a very long time.
Sure.
I've been on his podcast. We have been not together, but we have both been in episodes of A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker.
Right.
Bill is a good friend of Moses and has a very high amount of respect for him.
Sure.
From what I have seen over the years, Moses likes to stir shit up. Right? He seems to delight in riling up fanboys. And then when they come at him, he likes to put them down.
Sure.
And I've never agreed with that particular approach to internet interactions. I prefer to have more positive interactions.
This is why I like to stay off of social media for the most part.
Yeah. And, for my part, I always try to, if someone disagrees with me or I disagree with someone else, I try to not let it escalate or anything like that. Or if anything, I'll try, and I don't always succeed, but I'll at least try to be that's fine if that's how you feel. I'm just going to bow out.
Yeah.
I don't, and whatnot. Moses doesn't necessarily do that. I will say that the particular like exchange that caused all of this, it came from what was already like a very combative initial comment to Moses.
Sure.
So I saw it as more of just like a gross overreaction to what was already a shitty like initial comment, right? Because it was the type of comment where it's like, hey, I really like this thing. Oh, well, I think what you like is a piece of shit and it's bad actually.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, where do you go from there? It's
right.
Like, and to me, I would just like ignore that and not engage. But that's not how the well-read mage operates.
Sure.
And that's where we are. I am always inclined to try to give people the benefit of the doubt in situations like this, because I think that there's always opportunity to learn from your mistakes.
Sure. Absolutely.
Grow and acknowledge them and move on. And look, 100%, like, I've been podcasting for 14 years at this point. I guarantee you that if you go back into Nerds Without Pants and you comb through those episodes, you're going to find some shit in there that is probably pretty gross or pretty embarrassing that I said in the past.
Right.
And my defense to that is that I'm not the same person, like, especially anything before 2020.
Oh, God,
right?
yeah.
I've had a complete change of like worldview in the wake of the pandemic and the George Floyd killing, right? So a lot of things have changed, and there's a lot of stuff back there that I'm sure I'm not proud of. And if it ever does come up, like, I will cop to it and I'll be like, yeah, you know what? That was a shitty thing to say. And there's no excuse for it.
Same here.
And sometimes it's an ongoing process. I remember, I don't think it was on this show. I think it was Nerds Without Pants. I said a word that I don't use in my vocabulary anymore.
Right.
And I caught it immediately, and I was like, I don't use that anymore. Where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
And it didn't make it into the episode, obviously, because I had the power of editing.
Sure.
But it was like one of those things where it's like, yeah, where did that come from?
Yeah,
like, what? Like, I haven't used that word in like almost a decade. But it's an ongoing process, and you're going to find you have good days and bad days, right? And
we're all human at the end of the day. We all make mistakes, and we all learn. It's about learning from them and growing from them.
Exactly.
Basically.
And so I'm saying all of this to say that if you pre-ordered the book on my recommendation, I want you to have the information to decide whether or not you still want to pre-order the book.
Sure.
For my part, I'm still going to get a copy because it's the first time that my writing has been in print since I was in elementary school.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's kind of a big deal for me. And it is a collaboration of a lot of different people. It's not just
them.
His writing, right? It's a collection of, well, the way that it was pitched to me, because I obviously haven't read the book yet, but he told me that he wanted like personal anecdotes and stories related to RPGs on the Super Nintendo.
Sure, yeah.
And so the story that I told was about playing Illusion of Gaia and how much that game means to me, because it's one of the few games that my mom bought for me, and she's no longer around anymore. So it still has a very special place in my heart. That type of stuff. Having said that, I'm not all that pleased with like his little, oh, let's own cancel culture, like the mob tried to get me type of thing. Like, that seems very disingenuous to his initial reaction. But at the same time, that's also like very in the moment. So I want to see what he does from here. And let's see if he learns from this or not.
Or they double down. That's the society we live in, unfortunately. You either
it is.
Learn and grow as a person, or you double down and learn nothing. And here we are.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of glad that he bowed out himself, because that way I'm not in as difficult a position.
Right. Yeah.
Because I still wouldn't mind having him on the show, but I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, we need to talk about this. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of get that out there. Do with that information what you will.
Sure.
I just want people to be, informed of, I know I recommended this book, this shit came out, but it also, there's layers to it, right? I feel that like the level of attack was like based on like a very small sliver of stuff and not necessarily the whole, because like I've been seeing his interactions with people for years, right? And so it was not all of this. And I think sometimes you have to take into account intent and stuff like that, right? And he's gone through a lot of stuff in the last couple of years. He lost his house in a hurricane, right? So I know he's kind of been through it, but at the same time, his most recent, reaction to this whole thing, not great. So just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Which means it's time for the impossible pivot.
Great.
And I think there's only one way to get us out of this and to try to put a smile on our faces after all of that.
What is it?
It is time for the return of the very popular segment.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
Oh, good. This is good.
I don't wanna wait for our nights to be over.
It keeps going. Yeah.
Guilty or innocent.
I actually couldn't hear any of that, which was very annoying, but
Yeah, I heard it. It was great.
okay.
It was good. I've been there. I know how that is. I remember what was funny is I used to have the opposite problem with my old soundboard setup where I could hear everything and nobody else could. So I would much rather not have I would much rather have your problem than mine. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Because I'm just gonna. I mean, that's just for you. I'm gonna lay in the actual thing
absolutely. It was
in
good.
the editing.
That was great.
But
It's perfect.
I was putting that together this week, and I was like, this is so fucking dumb. I love it.
That's good. I enjoyed it.
So yes, judge my mix, Justin.
All right, we'll do it.
I listened to another one of my mix CDs this week.
Okay.
This one titled "Same Crap, Different Day."
Okay.
Not as many tracks on this
Same
one.
crap. How
actually.
many? How many? So I have.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's an important part of the rating scale. Is how many tracks?
14.
14. Okay, yeah, that is less.
Yes.
Okay.
First up, The Killers, "When You Were Young."
Yeah, that's a fine song. It's fine. Yeah. Okay.
I could see you going either way on that one. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like, I wasn't
so
sure.
I'm not the biggest Killers guy, but they're fine. Yeah, they're like one of those bands that like I can completely accept that they're fine. That's where I land on them. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, The Commodores, "Easy." That's an oldie.
Yeah.
Easy like Sunday morning.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah, that's okay. Great
Yeah.
song. Good song. So far, you're off to a good start. So far.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up, Semisonic, "Closing Time."
Oh boy.
That was I used to play that when I would close up the
No,
store.
I know. A lot of people like that song. Poor Semisonic. That was like their only song they ever had. It was too big to ignore. It was a very catchy jam at the time. Absolutely was.
I don't know why I always think that they're an Austin band. I always think they're an Austin band, and they are not.
Yeah, I don't know where they're from.
I looked it up. It was like Minneapolis or something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's not an awful song, it's really not.
Overplayed.
Very overplayed. But yeah,
Yes.
and I don't blame that on them. I blame that on television because television loved fucking playing that song. There was a lot of teenage dramas and shit that like to play that shit.
Right.
It was just a thing. So I get it.
Burt Bacharach, "New York Lady,"
Okay.
which is one of my favorite instrumental bits from Burt Bacharach.
Sure. Why not? Okay.
Damien Rice, "Baby Sister,"
Yeah.
which this is like peak. I love Damien Rice, but definitely when I was making all these mixed CDs, it was like I have to, like almost every one was like I have to have a Damien
You
Rice.
have to have one on there. I get it.
Yeah. Journey, "Separate Ways," parentheses, "Worlds Apart."
I don't know if I'm familiar with that Journey song.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if I am. It's probably one that if I heard it, I would know it. But
I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not a Journey fan at all. I kind of hate him.
I felt like the second I said Journey, you were just like, oh god.
Yeah. No, I mean that's true. I don't think they're the worst band ever or anything. They're not like AC/DC, but like they're not great. But I always think Journey is like heavily overrated. That's just always been my opinion of them.
Yeah.
But
Well, and you also have to remember that for me, I didn't hear my first Journey song until Guitar Hero.
sure, yeah, fair. Yeah, if you're getting it, yeah, I get it.
So this is relatively like, it's like a new song for me.
There are
at this point.
to be fair, there are Journey songs I don't hate. Like it's fine. So okay, middle of the road, I would say.
Okay.
That's you could do worse.
Yeah. Michael Jackson, Bad.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And I'm thinking these might have also been around the time that he died, so that might be why like there's
That's
been
fair.
multiple Michael Jackson tracks in these mixes.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious if you know this one.
Probably not.
The Ataris, San Dimas High School Football Rules.
No, do not know that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Good name for a song though. I
Yeah.
know I get the reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I love. There's a lyric in there that says you're searching for a high school that you know does not exist.
Right.
Dragon Force, Through the Fire and the Flames, which is why it's
Yeah.
fewer tracks.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what that'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I that it's an excellent song to play on Guitar Hero. I've never been like technically really really good Dragon Force, but they've never really been my thing.
That's the only song of theirs that I know.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Because of
I mean,
Guitar
well,
Hero.
obviously because of Guitar Hero. It's and I may be very wrong when I say this, but that's always what I've known Dragon Force for, is that one song on Guitar Hero that's like impossible.
I feel that that's what put them on the map.
Oh, yeah,
right? I don't think that they
100%.
have like a career without.
No, for
Guitar
sure.
Hero.
I don't think so either. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah.
Yeah. But yo, when you're working at a landfill night shift at 3 a.m., this is the song that you need to come
Oh,
on.
I believe it. Yeah. I believe
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That'll get you through the sleepy hour.
For sure.
Oh, here we go.
Oh boy.
Flyleaf, All Around Me.
I kind of don't hate Flyleaf.
I really dug it until I realized what the lyrics meant.
I was just going to say, okay, I really love, so that album, I cannot remember what the name of that album is. It's either self-titled or it has a fucking name. I can't remember. The first track on it, I think it's just I'm So Sick or whatever. That fucking song is awesome. Then you get to then you keep going down the list and you're like, what the fuck am I actually listening to? Like it progressively gets more apparent. And that song is definitely one of those. That one's
It's just self-titled.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was self-titled. They're very, very hit and miss. Like I said, they have that track. There's one on their second album, and they kept going after the singer left, and they just got a new singer at some point. It was weird.
Old.
But they had a song, and I don't remember what it's called for the life of me. It was a little like acoustic song. It's one of the saddest songs I've ever heard. Was really good. The album was not very good at all, but like that one song, I was like, damn, this is fucking something right here. But yeah, Flyleaf's an interesting one. Yeah, that's okay. Continue.
Well, I was just gonna say they are actually what the South Park episode where Cartman is writing like Christian rock music is spoofing, where it's like you're listening to it, it's like, oh, you want to have sex with Jesus?
Yeah.
That's what's going
That's what
on
it kind
here.
of always. Yeah, they're a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure.
This one you have to have my back here.
Okay.
The Black Mages, Battle with the Four Fiends.
Sure. Yeah.
That's Uematsu's
yes,
like metal band doing the boss music from Final Fantasy IV.
Why not? That's pretty great.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Heart, Crazy on You.
Okay. All right. I like me some Heart.
Okay.
Like me some Heart. All right.
Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I really hate. That's the Journey song I don't like. Oh boy. Yeah. Did that like Family Guy bit come out around there or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when my mix would come on, I would be like, I like this song.
Right.
And I like when other people sing this
Yeah,
song.
yeah. That sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I know you well enough to know that that's probably what that went with. Yeah.
Look, it was just what was popular at the time. Okay, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
And last but not least, Damien Rice, The Blower's Daughter live.
Okay. I don't know that one. I'll admit.
Yeah.
Don't know any Damien Rice songs.
I don't think that you would like Damien Rice because he is very much a lyrics
That's fair.
type of guy.
That's fair. Sometimes that's good though. I don't know. Let's see. This is probably like a 7.5.
Okay.
At least, yeah. It might even I don't want to like start grading these on a curve.
Right.
So yeah, that's a 7.5. That's not bad. There's a lot of like middle of the road stuff. There's some stuff that I don't know, so that I can't really judge it for that. But there's definitely like I mean, you have Journey on there twice. So that, but still, like you could do worse, you know. You really could. Oh yeah, no, I think it's like a 7.5, maybe even like a 7.7 if we're really upping it. Yeah, so yeah,
All right,
yeah,
going on old IGN, or no? Does IGN still do the points?
I don't
like.
know.
I know they do 0.5s, but I don't know if they still do
Most
like
of them
the
do 0.5s. They give the half point, but there was
I don't
one
know
of them.
No,
way back
I think
when.
IGN does still do like
Do
the
they
0.7s
really?
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I think so.
They might.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know one of them does. There's
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go 7.7 on that. That
All right,
seems
not bad,
fair.
not
That's
bad.
That's pretty not bad. It's not bad. It's not
Yeah.
great, but it's not bad. Could do worse.
Well, before we get out of this segment, Justin, we have our first listener submitted mix to judge.
Okay.
So we both get to get on this, although I might not have much to say because I'm looking at it. I don't think I know
All
all
right,
this stuff.
let's go.
Um,
Let's see if I know
this
it.
comes from Xrian,
I
who
might
says,
not
all right,
either.
I'll submit my killer mix CD for the almighty music judge, Justin.
Sure.
I found it in my car where I got a CD holder with like 20 CDs I own. I haven't used them in a while, but they still work, sort of.
Oh boy.
The title written was Eternal Nothingness.
Oh, God.
That's a Chrono Cross reference in case you didn't know. It would have probably had a lot of Linkin Park, but I owned those CDs and it would have been redundant since they probably would have taken up most of the CD.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah. So here we go.
Okay.
First up,
Okay.
Matchbook Romance, Your Stories, My Alibis.
Oh. Yeah, that's a band I am wildly unfamiliar with. So okay.
Yeah, I don't know that.
I might not know any of these. Now I'm scared. Okay, here we go.
You definitely know some of these.
Okay.
Submersed Hollow.
That sounds familiar. I'm not sure I know that one either. Continue.
See, here's where we might run into a problem with this bit because I have very basic bitch taste in music, so that's what makes it very easy to judge.
Everybody has a very it's always a variable. You never know what somebody's gonna be into, and I don't know everything. Trust me, I don't.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's I'm not Lonnie. Lonnie knows everything. My friend Lonnie knows, like, God, you can mention any band and he will have like 6 facts for you about that band, generally speaking. Like, I'm constantly shocked. And even if he hasn't listened to them, he knows what they're about. It's weird. That's just.
Did you tell him that your co-host had "Bad Day" by Alvin and the Chipmunks on a mix CD?
I did not, and I won't put you out there like that, Julian. I promise.
I mean, it's out there for everybody.
No, well,
It's-
he doesn't listen to the show, so it's fine.
Yeah. Third track, The Vandals, The Unseen Tears of the Albacore.
Jesus Christ, these all sound really. This sounds like something. What?
It does sound like something, Justin.
What the? Okay, say that again, real quick.
The Vandals.
The Vandals.
And the track is The Unseen Tears of the Albacore.
Okay,
Like the tuna.
rock band. Okay, what genre are we in here?
I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to look up.
I'm thinking like hard rock because of stuff that I'm seeing later on down this list that I do know.
Oh, punk rock. Okay, all right, got it.
Okay.
Oh, old punk. Oh, the Vandals, of course. God, what am I dumb? Yeah. I know these guys. I know I've heard songs from them. If I yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can go with this.
Okay.
Good.
Next up, one that I know and I have on different CDs, System of a Down, Chop Suey.
Perfect. Great song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Next, Story of the Year, Until the Day I Die.
Story of the Year, I know. I can't remember if I like them or not, but I know them. They're
Okay.
I think they're fine.
Hopefully, because the next track is Story of the Year, Anthem of Our Dying Day.
Jesus, yeah. Okay, big in the Story of the Year, apparently.
Yeah.
I think, okay, I would like to make one judgment of this mix. I don't like to, and this is one thing you do well, actually, on yours. I don't like to put the same band twice in a row. That's just me. Unless
for sure.
songs feed into each other somehow.
Yes, if it's a natural thing where it almost like breaks if you don't put them together.
If I was putting Taking Back Sunday and I had to put like the first two songs off of Louder Now, I would have to put them right together because they feed into each other. The bass line starts in the other song. So yeah.
No, I'm right there with you. Il Nino, Unframed.
Oh, I don't know if I like El Nino. Oh, I know that name and I remember. Oh, yeah.
That sounds so disappointed.
What song was it?
Unframed.
Unframed. Well, it's not even listed on here. I know this band at least. Yeah, they were Spanish. I remember that. Why do I remember that? I feel like I had a group of friends that were real into these guys. 2003. Sure. Let's listen to it. What does it sound like? Oh, god damn you ads. They want to sell you a flannel shirt sometimes, even though their website's garbage. Okay. Alright, it is rock music. I can confirm that.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, no, okay, alright, judgment. Okay. Ooh, I didn't need to listen to it anymore. I'm cool.
Okay,
Thanks.
fair enough.
Oh, I need a cigarette after that. Jesus Christ.
I think this bit has legs.
Yo, go ahead.
Next, Kill Switch Engage,
Oh,
The End of
fuck.
Heartache.
God damn it. Fuck, man. Oh, man. We were on this kick where I was like, I don't really know these bands. That might be fine. Okay, the Vandals, I know them a little bit.
Is this coloring your thought of the initial tracks?
As soon as Il Nino, I was like, I know that name, and I feel like I really don't like that band. And I was like, yep, confirmed. And then Kill Switch and anything with Kill Switch Engage is just like, oh, fucking just kill me now. God. They're not. I'll tell you this: they're not as bad as like Five Finger Death Punch. I swear to God, if that name comes up on here, I'm gonna lose my shit. Go ahead, continue. What do we have next?
Slipknot, Wait and Bleed.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen, I'm not a big Slipknot guy at all. Like at all. But that is from the one album that I had in 8th grade, and it's fine. It's fine.
They're kind of like the deep-throated screamo type sound, right?
Okay, not exactly. So okay. When they first came out, this album was this they totally were. They kind of got away from it at a certain point. I was never the album after that one. This is the song he mentioned. That's from their self-titled album. That album I really enjoyed when I was in 8th grade. I remember really getting into that one. And that was because it fit my middle school angst at the time. And then I got older and was like, I don't know why anybody would listen to this. It's kind of bad. But but it's not the worst. Going back and listening to it, I'm like, some of this is okay. But I remember listening to the second album because I think that also came out when I was in 8th grade. I know they probably weren't that close together, but that's when I discovered them. So it counts, I guess. The second album was Iowa, from what I remember, and I hated that one. I was like, oh, yeah, no, I don't really care for this at all. And then I never listened to it again. But people love Slipknot. They're a massive deal. And like I said, they got
Oh, I know. Yeah.
they got away from the like deep throated screaming shit. I think they still do it every now and then, but yeah. Never been a big Slipknot guy. Wait and Bleed, though, I'll give it credit. It is like in one of those, like, you're one of the true fans if you know this track, I guess. But that was the single off of that, if I remember correctly. Yeah, okay. You could do it. I almost put that in the Journey category where I'm like, you could do worse. You could have Mudvayne on there. Don't tell me Mudvayne's the next track. I'll swear to God, I'll lose my mind.
Next up, Papa Roach, Last Resort.
Fuck me. Okay. Okay.
After that, Hoobastank, Crawling in the Dark.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man, this really fell off a cliff. Okay. I'm sorry, X-Rian.
Next, In Flames, My Sweet Shadow.
I that's a band I know exists, and I remember they had a song on Guitar Hero. Can't remember. It wasn't very good enough for me to like continue listening to the band. Yeah, In Flames. They sure exist. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on them. Continue.
Next, Funeral for a Friend, Rookie of the Year.
Never heard of them. Hold on. Now I'm fascinated. Now I'm looking these up because we're
well, next up is also Funeral for a Friend, Bend Your Arms to Look Like Wings.
Okay.
So,
what?
Either of those.
Which one was it? What was the first one?
Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Rookie of the Year. Okay. There we go. It came right up. Not really, but it did. Let's hear this. I hate these ads. I really should do something about it, but we have the skip button. Okay. This is rock music. We can confirm that. Okay. It's okay. I got further in this one than I did El Nino.
Sure.
That's something. Sure. Okay. This is very of its time. Holy shit. This is, what year was this? More 2003.
Chef
yeah.
Ramsay taste something.
Not terrible. Not terrible. Not terrible. I'll give you that. All right. Continue. I'm sorry.
Next up, Atreyu, Bleeding Mascara.
Yeah, I don't need to listen to that. Never been big on Atreyu. That was very much of its time as well.
Well, next up is Atreyu, Right Side of the Bed. Again,
the back to back of all the bands is you got to split it up, man. You got to be like, it's got to be, if you're making a mix, it's got to be down the list a little bit. That's my number one judgment here.
Next up, Under Oath, I'm Content with Losing.
Oh man, I love Under Oath. I actually really do. I'm content or contempt.
Content.
Okay, content. I know when I hear like 2 seconds of it, I'm gonna remember it. I'm content with losing. Yes. What album was this on? Oh, this was this one. Oh yeah, this was a great album. Yeah, okay, I remember that. That one's not bad. Under Oath, surprisingly, is actually a Christian band. But they're one that, like, you wouldn't really know it unless you really looked into it. And then I think as they went, they just, like, completely got rid of that. But I think, like, the first 2 albums, it was a little bit in there.
Right.
But yeah, that's not a bad one. I seen Under Oath live a few times actually. Never during this album's days, which I wish I would have, because their drummer was like also the singer or one of the singers in the band, and he wasn't there when I seen them. I seen them in the disambiguation period of their career. No, Under Oath's good. That's okay. That's good.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
because they're also next with It's Dangerous Business Walking Out Your Front
That's
Door.
also a good one. Yeah, I know that one.
And then also next with Reinventing Your Exit.
He really liked that album. He really liked that album. Yeah, no, it's a good album. I'll give him that.
And then last on the disc is Fear Factory Archetype Remix, parentheses, from Galarian's Rion movie, which I have to say, there was a movie based on the PS1 video game Galarians.
Apparently. Apparently there was. Yeah, I got no idea what that is. Sounds fascinating though. Okay.
So,
man,
if I may,
yeah, go ahead.
because I don't get to score things very
Oh
often.
yeah, go ahead. By all means, Julian.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Sure.
I don't know 95% of the music on there, but not breaking up the
I
duplicate
agree.
bands
I
on
agree.
the mix is
I
kind
agree.
of a cardinal sin for me.
I agree. No, I agree. I think that brings the score a bit down. I'm almost right there with you. I think I'm going to go a point higher just because I do like Under Oath. But then again, you had Papa Roach on there. And that's like, man, fuck. And Kill Switch Engage and Il Nino. Man. Ugh. No, I have to agree with Julian actually. I have to No, a 6. I'll go a 6.
Okay.
A 6. Ironically, Last Resort's kind of funny. So if we factor that in, that's I could see it. It is a funny song. It's very fun to quote. God, God, what a dumb song. You know that song, right, Julian?
I don't know.
You've never.
Oh, wait. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, I
was
do.
gonna say. I was like, come on, you gotta
yes.
know Last Resort by Papa
Yes.
Roach. Everybody knows that.
But I think all I know is like the beginning of that song.
Cut my
like-
life into pieces.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because I think I hear that and then I change stations.
What a bad song, but it's kind of great. Okay, yeah, 6. I'll go 6. The not splitting up of tracks is a big thing. Definitely, I will give them a bit of a half point here and there for just stuff I'm like I don't honestly know what that is. And I didn't look it up. Some of the stuff that I looked up was fine, and then Under Oath is great. You had 3 tracks from there. Yeah, 6 is gonna go with that. Please send more. I'm fascinated.
Excellent.
Yep.
All right. Well, that has been.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
I feel like you need a second one for the outro. It just needs to be
We'll work
different.
off that.
Yeah.
Guilty or
I
innocent.
might need to cut it down a bit.
No, I think the length is great. I think that's the best part. I feel like it needs a final a different Transformers quote at the end of it though. I don't know which one.
Oh, like actually put the Quintesson like saying like
innocent. Yeah.
I'll work on that.
Things to consider.
Yes.
It's good. It's good though. I love it.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
You thought Roddy Piper's character died at the end of They Live. You thought Roddy Piper died. You thought wrong.
I don't like this one bit. Again.
With the magic of AI and the creative bankruptcy of the movie industry, they're back.
I need you to put on the glasses. Again.
See the sequel that no one saw coming. The Washington Post says, who is this even for?
Look around you, they're everywhere. Again.
The Ghost of Roger Ebert says, it's a soulless cash grab, but I had fun. John Carpenter says, do whatever the fuck you want, just keep my name off of it and let me play my video games.
I am here to chew bubble gum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubble gum. Again.
See John Carpenter's They Live again. Well, I guess I will kick off games, Justin, because we talked before the show.
Now it's time to talk about video games.
Yes, let's talk about
after an hour of podcasting. Well, then again, as part of that's not the what the that was something different. But yeah. Now let's talk about video games.
Hey, listen, if you're coming over here from Giant Bomb, look,
this is what we do.
There's a reason why we were inspired by Giant Bomb when we started podcasting. We are fans of long form video game podcasts.
We'll get there. It's fine.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
I actually played quite a bit of stuff, and today, as we're recording, this is my first day of vacation. So next week's gonna be a lot,
which means I don't have to do anything. No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to do something.
I am planning on just embarrassing myself. Like by the end of this week, I'm just going to be like, God damn, I probably should have moved around a little bit more. That's the plan.
That sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't done like just a stay home for a full week in a very long time.
Yeah, me neither.
Like I almost always travel.
Right.
On my vacations.
Right.
So this is actually kind of nice and much needed too, because I really need to like catch up and start finishing some video games.
I'm very worried about that for myself, but I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I don't know what that's going to be like for me. I'm just like, I don't know how this is going to go. It's a little rough right now, but yeah.
Well, I mean, at least you've touched a lot of stuff. And,
I usually,
that's the thing, right? Yeah. Like, because obviously we can't play everything, and I have a tentative fourth chair for the big list.
Sure.
And they were like, well, I'm just not sure if I've touched enough stuff this year. And then I showed them a list of what I've played, and they were like, okay, I've actually touched more than I thought.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, as long as you can just like know enough to be able to talk about it and understand like where people are coming from, like that's kind of the whole point of the list,
that's pretty
right?
much it. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, and then you'll like you and I won't be doing our top 10s until next year, so that's also nice.
This whole year for me has been like kind of just a like I don't know. I haven't found much to like really sink my teeth into like I normally would, except with admittedly the Hades 2. Hades 2 has been the one game where I'm just like, yo, I'm fucking into this. Like every time I get to play a video game, usually that's what I'm fucking with. So
right,
says a lot.
Well, real briefly, I did crack open my copy of Final Fantasy Tactics,
the
Ivalice Ivalice Chronicles. Oh. That's how they're saying it.
Okay.
Don't know if I can get on board with that even. Oh, also, it's Beowulf. Beowulf. Yes. With the answer that it can finally be told.
Yeah, that's fine.
Although this made me finally look up the word marquee.
Uh-huh.
Because they said they once again pronounced it
Marquis.
Marquis, which I remembered from Final Fantasy 12, and I was like, okay, so we're now in because like when Final Fantasy 12 came out, I was like, well, you know, voice acting is still not like fantastic across the board,
Right.
so I'm gonna forgive it. And no, apparently, like if you're talking about if you're British, you say Marquis. If you're French, you say Marquis. And apparently they're also technically different things.
Okay.
So
Well, there you go. We all learned something today.
Because I was like, man, I'm surprised, but that's why.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's cool.
Okay. Good.
I think it looks better than I initially thought. Like, you know, I'm still not a huge fan of what they did to it.
I think they could have done better.
Yeah. I wish they had either gone further with making it look better, or I like pixels, right? I like pixel art. Like I like some sharp pixels. I know that's kind of controversial, but I like some sharp ass pixels.
That's fair.
And I did load up the PS1 version of the game that's on the disc, and I was like, yeah, this looks fantastic still.
does,
Like now that it's in HD, like it works.
Yeah.
And and it made me really wish that you could mix and match, like just like give me the graphics of the PS1 version,
Right.
with like the upgrades of the other version, but it's not that way because I think this might. I only played like the first battle, so
Sure.
I don't have much to comment on, but just having the turn order like visible on the screen the whole time,
Oh, that's huge.
that might actually help me fundamentally like be better at the game, because I know that you could find that in the original version, but it took a little bit of, you know, menu hopping, and I wouldn't always remember to do it, and I would like definitely get like basically I would get into a situation where it's like, well, I'm not using archers and I'm not using dragoons because I can never really like get the hang of aim or jump. Like I'm always missing those. Same thing with like certain spell, like with the spells, it would be like I'm targeting the person, and if they get next to one of my guys, fuck it. Like they're just, you know, I'm going to gamble on this spell either goes off before they get in range of killing one of my guys, or if he dies, he dies. Right. That type of thing.
Yeah.
So translation is, well, I guess I compared the intros to both, and they are using the War of the Lions translation in the PS1 version.
Interesting.
I don't know if the new version is just the War of the Lions translation or if they did more on top of that.
Interesting, yeah.
Because it seemed like 1-to-1 to me when I compared the intros to the games.
Yeah.
We'll see. My big thing is like I'm just really glad that people can play it now.
Yeah, same here.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I my copy came in the mail when I was at my dad's, staying over there. That was fun. I don't have a PlayStation with a disc drive right now, which was funny to me because I was like, well, I own the game, but I can't play it unless I'm here.
Oh.
So I would have to buy it again, which is fine. That's not a big deal. I usually do that anyway, but at the same time,
I might be double dipping on a game that I'm going to talk about a little bit
there
later.
You go.
But
there you go.
It's not a thing that I'm going to be like I'm not going to like jump into it. I just wanted to kind of like touch it and see, you know, what it looked like. Like, okay, no, this is good.
I played it recently enough to where I'm not like chomping at the bit right now, you know?
Yeah.
So
there are things where I was like, oh, but like, I kind of want to like recruit. Oh no, you can't name your characters in that one, right? Like basically it's just whatever they're named when you recruit them.
I can't remember. I think you're right. But I don't remember.
I want to make a Miyamoto Musashi. Like I want to get a samurai, but dual wielding katanas.
Oh yeah,
because I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. Just got a ninja and then turn them into a samurai, basically. Yep.
Yeah. On that note, we had Xavier Krager on last week, and he was really high on a game called Dark Deity 2.
Sure. Yeah.
And I went ahead and picked that up.
Okay.
And I'm curious what you didn't like about the first one that made you like not really like want to keep going with it.
I didn't get too far into it. I think it was mostly like the story wasn't doing anything for me, and there was a couple other little bits here and there that I wasn't super crazy about. It seemed like a neat game, but like, yeah, it just didn't grab me, I guess, right away. In a sea of other things you can play, I was like, yeah, it's a Fire Emblem, that's cool, but like I'm really not in the mood for this right now, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm about 3 hours into it, and I'm really digging it.
Okay, cool.
And now, to be fair, I have not played any of the older Fire Emblems. I'm an Awakening kid. Like that was my first Fire Emblem. I own one of the GBA ones, but I never actually like cracked it open to play it.
Yeah.
I always liked the look of those old Fire Emblems, and part of me was like, man, I kind of wish that they would make a new Fire Emblem game that looks like these older ones, because I'm really digging like this presentation, right? Sure. And Dark Deity 2 is very much that old Fire Emblem presentation where it's all sprite art and you're on the grid for the map, and then when you get into the fight, it's just like a black screen with the two characters facing off, but like really fluid animation for the attacks, which I'm a huge sucker for that with strategy RPGs. Yeah. So, and I don't know if the first game had this or not, but Dark Deity 2, the characters have abilities that you can use from the map, which reminds me of Unicorn Overlord.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that's really cool. You can't like, it uses your turn, so you can't do that and then attack, but you can use it for like very nice strategic effect.
Sure.
So in the early missions, just like Fire Emblem, there's the one overleveled character where it's like, don't let this guy kill all of the enemies because he's just going to take experience points away from the ones that need it.
Right.
But he has a ability that he can use on the field that teleports an adjacent character up to 5 panels away.
Okay.
So that can effectively double the movement area of a character. And so I've been using him that way, and that's been really cool because like you can very much tailor the way that you want the difficulty to be, but I went with like the default stuff.
Sure.
And by default, the game has turn limits as one of the requirements. And we'll see if I stick with that for the entirety of the game. Yeah. Because I brushed up closer to that turn limit that I was comfortable with in like one of the first fights. And I was like, ooh, this is stricter than I was kind of anticipating. Yeah. So we'll see. But so far it hasn't been an issue. Right. And so I want to kind of meet the game where it is. Sure. So, and I always like to go with default unless I feel that it's not working that way for me, or if I've heard like, oh, this game was like way too easy, you should bump it up, or it's like, you know, it feels like a game that I should knock down. Right. Like there's definitely those situations. Like you're never gonna have me play one of those recent Wolfenstein games on normal. Fuck that. I tried.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So far the story is interesting. Like I guess he's not the main character, but he's like one of the main characters. He's called an adept, and it's like, I guess he can kind of like use some sort of magic naturally, but it's almost like a mutant type thing where like it caused problems for him back home, and like people were like distancing themselves from him, and he's the one whose village gets attacked at the beginning, and you know, but he doesn't seem to be the main character, which is weird. It's actually this soldier named Gwen, who it seems to be like, basically there is a choice that I had to make early on, and it was her making the decision. So I'm like, okay, I guess she's the main character. Kind of can't tell.
Interesting.
But I will say that like the decision that I had to make was like kind of a big deal. Right. Like we're talking about let the Citadel Council die or not at the end of Mass Effect 1 level of decision at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, the first game didn't seem to have anything like that. The first game seemed like it was just going for old school Fire Emblem, at least to me. Like it was just like very by the numbers. This is a Fire Emblem game made by an indie studio or guy or whatever, whoever's making it. And it was like, oh, it's really neat that you did this, but like I don't know if it's going to go anywhere or have that much depth. And honestly, it might be on me. I didn't really give it that much time to really see what it had. I just I kind of judged it at face value after like the first couple fights. And I was like, I don't know if I'm really getting into this.
Sure.
From what Xavier said, the second one seems like it sounds like it improved a lot. So yeah. Yeah.
I am really enjoying it, and Like I said, I've already got like 3 hours into it or so, and I'm sticking with it.
Right.
Like it's been a thing that, I mean, and also voice acting is really good. I mean, I'm enjoying the characters.
First
so
game
far.
didn't have voice acting, so yeah, that's
Okay, yeah. But it's also a game where I'm like, I kind of want to play it while I'm watching YouTube in the background, so it might be a thing where I've got like the volume turned down and stuff like that, which I usually don't like to do. I usually respect like games more than that. To like, I want to really lock in, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if I'm going to actually make significant progress on it unless I do it that way. We'll see.
Yeah.
But when I bought it, it actually came in a bundle, and I'm curious, Justin, if you have heard of a game called Symphony of War.
Yeah, dude. I talked. It was like one of my games of the year at one point, man.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I didn't put it on my wish list back then because I didn't have a Steam Deck. Okay, cool. Because that came in the bundle.
Symphony of War is fucking dope as shit. That's the one it's like Fire Emblem, but it has like ogre battle or whatever like attached to it or something, like where you organize all the little troop patterns and shit like that, and everybody's like a little army or whatever.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Symphony of War is dope. Okay. Yeah, that game is awesome. Yeah, awesome. Like that. See, I think I might have bought Dark Deity, the original one, in Symphony of War in a bundle. Now that I think about it,
you did. I remember that because you were like, oh, the other game I wasn't that high on.
Dark Deity didn't stick, but Symphony of War, I was like, yo, but this one's fucking awesome. Like, see, that's why I remember that's why now. Dark Deity kind of got shoved to the side for me. Yeah, that was it.
Okay, excellent. I'm excited about that then.
Yeah, because that one's good.
Okay, good to know.
Yes,
because really cool looking art, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, this looks all right. Like, it had like really good reviews, and I was like, okay, the bundle, it was like I think like $5 more than buying the other game by itself, and I was like, yeah, why not, man? And so I'm glad that I made that call.
Yes, for sure.
I guess I just lumped this in because it's I've been playing a lot of my Steam Deck this week. I saw a review on IGN for a game called Absolum, and it's kind of funny.
Okay.
So I've seen the key art for that game here and there, and I was like, it looks really cool, but I don't know what that is. I don't care. Mm-hmm. But I had seen, you know how like when you're on YouTube and like it has the previews where if you hover over the video, it starts to play a little bit of it.
Right.
I had happened to be on YouTube one day, and I saw a trailer for some game. I don't remember the name of it. It's coming out next year. That is a beat 'em up, but it's a run-based beat 'em up. And I was like, that's a really cool idea.
I feel like I seen the same game. Okay. I can't remember what that
the one
called.
I'm thinking of is like it's pixel art, and it looks like old school Golden Axe, and I was like, I might check that out when it comes out.
I know exactly the game you're talking about. I can't think of what it's called now.
Yeah,
it looked cool.
Absolum is also that.
Oh, okay.
And it's out now, and it's got like a really cool like hand drawn art style, and it's fucking awesome, Justin.
Yes, I've seen this game. Kind of like advertised and stuff. It looked really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like IGN gave it a 9, and I was watching the review, and I was like, and again, it's funny how like we had just been talking about like how do you evolve like the beat 'em up, and like this is a great way to evolve the beat 'em up, because those games were quarter munchers, right, and you always were just like starting the game over anyway when you would play it, and here there's reason to start the game over. I really like the art style. Like I said, it's kind of splits the difference between Streets of Rage 4 and Darkest Dungeon.
Sure.
It's got like kind of like a sharp, like really hard edge to it, like very dark black lines around the characters, but still very stylized and cartoony and very fluid animation. You start with 2 characters, and actually, because I never played beat 'em ups for the story, and then even most run-based games, I don't care for the story other than Hades, right? But here I'm actually pretty invested in what's going on, because basically magic is kind of being outlawed by this like evil overlord who's trying to stamp it out. And all your characters are wizards, but they're all, wizards because they can utilize magic, but they're all like fighting with their fists and stuff like that. But it's all based around that magic is like it's a force of the earth, right? Like it's very
Sure.
like the person who resurrects you is basically like a Gaia type character. They call her the mother, and
Absolutely.
it's all about like this harmony with the planet and this empire wanting to stamp that out. And it's kind of interesting because unlike your typical run-based game where everything is randomized when you start your run, the areas are fixed. But depending on the choices that you make, it changes them in certain ways. So, for example, there was a part where I went down one path and there was this guy that's like, oh, the goblins like destroyed the bridge. Like, you know, you've got to stop them. And so you go on this bottom path and you go through, you fight the goblins, you fight their chieftain and beat him. And so then that makes you kind of like the one in charge or whatever. And so you ask their elder or something like that to rebuild the bridge, but you're not sure that they did it or not. They just kind of say like, well, we're never going to forget what the humans did, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, the attacks will continue. But then when I went back through that area again, the bridge had been repaired. So then I bypassed that area. And it was like a different way of going through. And I've gotten to like the boss of the first island, basically. It seems like there's 3 islands. And I almost beat him. It was actually just this afternoon. I had this really good run where I thought, well, it started as a bad run where I was like really low on health pretty early. And I actually like fought that goblin boss again with like a sliver of health left. But I managed to beat him because at this point I had like that like second chance token, sort of like in Hades.
Death Defiance.
And after I beat him, there was an inn right after that, so I got to heal at the inn for a little bit of health, and then I also found like some food in a barrel, so that got me almost back up to full. And so then I got to push the run like quite a bit further than I expected. I ended up getting to the boss, and I almost beat him on that. That was my second attempt at him. But it's really, really fun, and it plays really well. It controls really well. I think my biggest complaint so far is there is a defend button, but it's not a block. It's a dash that if an attack hits you while you're dashing, you deflect it. And I don't like the way that feels.
Yeah, that sounds kind of odd.
Yeah, in my brain, those two things don't mean the same thing. And so I have a little bit of trouble wrapping my head around that. I've been more into dodging out of the way of stuff, and then if you attack right after that, you do this punish move where you immediately like jump back to them and start attacking. And there's like wall bounce moves, and there's juggling, and like one of the moves that I got in one of my runs was a dive kick that you could repeat after you hit. So I was just like dive kicking motherfuckers left and right. It was really fun, and I was like, I hope that I can find that again, because that's like I can build a whole character around that move.
Yeah.
But the problem is that when I watched the IGN review, they only mentioned PC, and so I bought it on Steam that day, and then I found out that it's also on PlayStation. I kind of wish that I had bought it on there, so I might double dip on it.
It should be noted that what I'm looking at, you said the IGN review was a 9 out of 10, but this one says it's 7 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah. At least the one I'm looking at. Absolum, ABSOLUM, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right next to it on the Google search, it's a 9 out of 10 on Steam, which is, I don't know what review that is, but
ooh, hold on. Let me check my history really quick.
Game Informer gave it a 9 out of 10. Inburst gave it a 9 out of 10. GameSpot.
Maybe I looked at the wrong. It wasn't Game Informer. Hold on. Let me check my history real quick.
Yeah.
I swear it was an IGN review.
Like I said, I looked it up.
Sorry. GameSpot.
Okay.
It was a GameSpot review.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. IGN, it was a 7. I was like, okay. I feel like I should mention that just at the end, just for clarity.
Hold on, I want to see if it was fucking Tristan Ogilvie, because I can't stand that dude.
I don't know who it was.
One, he thinks he's way funnier than he is, and
No,
like
no.
all of his reviews are just like laced
No,
with like
it's not him. It's Will.
it's not.
Borger or something like that. I don't know. Who
Oh,
they
okay.
are.
Well,
Yeah.
because I've also noticed that I don't agree with any of his takes on games, so it works out. Because basically, if I hear his voice on a review, I immediately click off of it.
Yeah.
But okay, it was GameSpot.
Okay.
Yeah, IGN has been like oddly like off kilter lately.
Oh, there
I
you
don't
go.
know if they have like a new editor that has them like wanting them to use more of their scale, but like they've been like 2 points lower on average from like a lot of games that I've seen lately. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Which isn't a
interesting.
bad thing,
Yeah,
right? Like
that's interesting.
I just find it interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Exactly.
look, as someone who is constantly like on the lower end of opinion on games that everybody loves, I get it.
That
Like
is fair,
it
yeah.
sucks to be there. Like it feels real bad.
yeah. When you're in the minority like that, it is kind of awkward sometimes. I know.
Yeah.
We've all been there with some game. We all have our one game, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, 70 games that people like and you just don't get into. It happens.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, game of the year this year, I think it's going to be like weird. It's going to be really weird.
It's going to be weird.
But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I've got more, but let's turn it over to you.
Yeah, for my
what have you been up to?
My one video game that I played. Video game with a giant question mark attached to it, I would say. I've been working. I'm working a lot of the overtime right now, for the reasons of I need money and why not, I guess. But
You have a little bit. You'd
yeah.
like more of it.
That's basically it. It's more like, I wouldn't mind a little cushion considering what I'm trying to do in my life right now. That would be okay. So why not?
Hey, one of my goals this week is to go take out a personal loan to like do debt consolidation because like I didn't really like the interest rate that I ended up getting on the car, and I'd kind of like to just like pull it all into one bill.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And just knock that out.
Yeah.
But fingers crossed, hopefully like I get a good rate and I get approved for it and can get that done this week.
Yeah, I still have not found houses in my area are not great. Sometimes it's kind of entertaining in its own way. I went to a house. I'm sorry to derail this. I went to a house. It was the wildest shit that I've ever seen. So upstairs in one of the rooms, somebody wallpapered a fucking pipe. They wallpapered around the entire pipe, like to hide the fact that there was a pipe in like kind of the corner of this room just going through it. Now that sounds like, oh, it was a thing old people did. And it's like, yeah, it was. Except throughout the years of this fucking old ass wallpaper being there, it slowly got
The
like
condensation
black and everything. It's just like, oh my God, that's gross, man. What the fuck? Oh, well, people, it's great.
What are roofs like in Ohio? Like, are they typically like shingle roofs?
Usually, yeah. Some metal ones, but mostly.
So is it safe to say that you're currently looking for shingles in your area?
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, that's good.
Haven't made Justin's soul leave his body in a while.
You got me on that one. You got me on that one. That's good. Okay. All right, moving on. Yeah, I guess I am, Julian. That's fun. Anyway. Besides the working and the house hunting, I did find time to play with a question mark a game called Blippo Plus, which is an odd video game. I guess if you want to call it a video game. It was an FMV game that was made for the Playdate originally. It started development, I believe, for the Playdate. It was designed for that. Like, it has... Essentially, the concept is you are watching like television, like all of the TV from another planet that's out somewhere, and somehow they have found out that people are receiving their transmission from their planet, so they start like addressing you, or in the broader terms, they don't know who you are or anything like that. And
okay, I just want to say real quick, because I looked this up. This looks like the Stage Select, the video game.
It is out there. It's kind of great. It's really fun. It's I mean, essentially all you're doing is watching. There's no like real interactive component to it. You're just kind of watching the channels and seeing what the story is, pretty much. But like they all have their own blocks. There's a preview channel. You can select where you want to go from there, and like there's a whole channel that's nothing but different kinds of static. There's a like, let's see, my favorite. So they're just shows on there. Everything's very 80s. My favorite shows are I want to say it's called Snacks Alive, but it's just like a cooking show. And it has this really enthusiastic British lady on there, and she is amped about these like other planet food. And like at one point, I can't remember what the dish was called or whatever it was, but she was just like, and now it's time to bless the plate for good luck. And they just shake like a pan of dice over top of it, and I was like, that's stupid, and I love this. This is fantastic. There's a show called Clone Troy or Troy. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's, I think, French. Trois something.
I saw that and I pronounced it as Troy when I saw it.
I don't know how it's pronounced, but the entire conceit is it's one actress. She is playing all the roles of a hospital soap opera. And basically, like, there's love triangles happening and all sorts of shit. And it's kind of like not the greatest acting, which makes it better. Like, it's just really funny it's unintentionally funny the entire time. It's great. But intentionally funny at the same time. I don't know how to describe it. Clone Troll is great. I was very sports entertained by it. What's the other one? Other one. Well, go ahead.
Like, is there a gameplay component to it, or are you just sitting through these shows
and you are watching these shows, and that's it? You just can kind of like, you can turn the channel on and basically you watch till like, okay, I've seen this show already and it's like a repeat or whatever, so I change the channel to the next one, and there is a story going on. Like,
okay,
each show kind of has its own arc that's happening. There is an overall arc that's happening. Which is like I said, they found out that these people on another planet have the same are getting their signal through their TV, and they're starting to talk to them, and they figured out it's happening because of this thing called the Bend. So they're going to send some people out to go through it and see what happens, and it goes from there. It's
interesting.
It's out there for sure. It's definitely out there.
It does sound like the Stage Select, the video game.
The game it reminds me of the actual, like, the most is Hypnospace Outlaw. It reminds me a lot of Hypnospace Outlaw. Like, the sense of humor it has and all that stuff is very Hypnospace Outlaw. Hypnospace Outlaw a little bit more of a video game than this one. Like, you're actually like doing stuff in that one. This one you're an observer. That's all you can do. Because like I said, they made it for the play date, and the whole idea was like, oh, you turn the crank and it changes the channel. And that's it. We made, I think it's like 12 or 16 weeks of programming or something like that. And they did it on there where it was like every month or something that it would change. It would be a different block of television that you would download, and you'd watch that and the story would continue. It was kind of like a live event type thing, which was kind of neat. But this, now it's all done, and you can watch it, in color. You can press a button and switch it to the playdate view, which is kind of interesting sometimes. But yeah, it's more about like just the individual shows that are really great. Like There's one show on there, Julian, that I swear to God, if it was real, I'd be like, this is an incredible show and I need to watch. I would watch it every week because it was great. It was called The Quizzard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of already in.
Yeah. So the conceit, Julian, is it's Dungeons and Dragons. There's two people. They're both working together and they have to get to the Quizzard, right? And this is going to take them weeks to do it. And every time there would be a dice roll type situation, they have to answer a question, like a trivia question. And that's how they fantastic. Do it. It's great. it's really great. Yeah, that one was fun. There's like a ton of like news shows. All of it's very 80s. There's the teenagers show, like the teenagers hangout. It's got a lot of shit going on. It was really fun. I watched all of it. It was very entertaining. The only thing I think I was a little let down at was the very end. And that's because like I expected it to kind of have sort of a grand finale type thing happen, but it doesn't really do that. But that's it. That's kind of, it is fine. It just kind of ends. But overall, like, I feel like you would know if you're in the market for this. Again, it's not really a video game. You're not going to sit there and interact with it. You are seriously going to turn this on and just watch what the hell's happening. Everything has its own little individual arc. There's a weird AI guy that's just in a, like, who has become self-aware and is kind of like, I don't know what to compare it to, but like they're sort of losing their minds and they know what they are, and it's becoming really weird. And then there's a bunch of controversy as to, should we shut this thing off or should we just let it keep going? And it's aware of that too, and it wants to live, and it's and it's telling you this but it's in the weirdest way possible. Good old Blinker. All hail the new static. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
So Blinker is the clanker in the game.
I guess. Yeah. It's definitely different. There's like, a doctor, the one scientist that is like one of the lead minds of the planet has their own show, and they figured out how to take what they call consciousness particles from the air and put them back. So they have a bunch of brains in jars and they're talking to historical figures through that. There's an Antiques Road show, and it's like a bunch of just wild shit that's coming in there, and there's the world's longest literary experiment happening where people just call and give words and a man just makes a poem out of it. It's really weird, but interesting at the same time. It's a neat little thing, I have to say.
Yeah,
like I said, fun. As far as gameplay goes, there ain't nothing there. You're just watching it, but very interesting. And especially, I find it fascinating that they made it for the fucking play date of all things.
Yeah, that's the part that really threw me for a loop when you mentioned it before we started recording.
Oh yeah. That part is really wild.
That little machine has surprisingly had like some really crazy original games that have like broken containment from just that platform.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It definitely did. But like they had all this footage. It has that like 80s grain to it, like it's all in 4:3 resolution and all that stuff. They went for that aesthetic. Mm-hmm. It's pretty neat game. Blippo Plus.
Yeah, I might want to check that out. Honestly, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean it's about like, I think I watched it for about 8 hours. That's probably cut it down to like 7, maybe 7 or 6 or something like that. And like I said, you're just sitting down watching it. It's just a thing to do, I was entertained by it. So I seen Nextlander playing it, and I laughed a few times watching them watch it. And I was like, okay, I feel like I want to see the rest of this, so I'm gonna get this and do it.
Yeah,
and I was not disappointed. So yeah,
excellent. Blippo Plus.
Yep.
And now, Video Game Masterpiece Theater, with your host, Thaddeus Wimpleshire. Good evening. I am Thaddeus Wimpleshire. We live in a world that at times seems to be teetering on the brink. The wealthy few control so much of the fates of the meager majority that the desire for retribution is palpable. Sadly, this is a cycle that repeats, as was seen in the days of feudal Japan. In this series, from 1998's Tenshu, Stealth Assassins, we follow the noble ninja Rikimaru as he pursues a wicked merchant who has grown fat from his predations of the common folk. This scene stars a young upstart, sexy Martin Van Buren, in the role of the evil merchant, with the always riveting Abramo as the bodyguard. And in the shoes of Rikimaru, we have the stunning performance of Julian Titus, giving us his most fiery performance yet.
Come on, come on! Who are you?
I'm here to avenge all the innocent people you've hurt.
Somebody help! Get him! Get him!
It looks like you chose the wrong party to crash.
My business is with Echigoya. Step aside, or I will have to kill you. After a wicked duel, Rikimaru strikes down the merchant's bodyguard.
Oh, hey, I'm like, I guess I was killed. I'm dying. There's much noise happening out of my mouth.
Echigoya, where have you hidden? Later, Rikimaru tracks the evil merchant to the center of his compound.
Get away! Help me, somebody!
Your bodyguards are dead, and you are next.
My buddy!
Your greed sickens me. I hope your death is a lesson to others.
This has been another installment of Video Game Masterpiece Theater, with your host, Thaddeus Wimpleshire. The stage select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
Well, before we move on, Justin, I think it is a good time to thank our lovely patrons.
Okay.
We appreciate all of our lovely patrons, but every week we like to thank the executive producer tier. Also, heads up, executive producers are getting a secret bonus something this month. So be on the lookout for that. This week we have Philip PK Becker.
We have Casey Curran.
We have Exrian.
We have Xavier Krager.
Don't take it too hard, Exrian. It's okay. We have Stephen Lobo.
We also have Extrian. I'm just not going to skip them now. And we have David Portnov.
Wait, did I? No, we said Extrian.
Did
and
we?
Then
well, you did.
Yeah, and then I went back to Extrian.
Them. I know you went back, and I went back too because I skipped them, and that's on me.
Oh, I see.
Sorry.
Weird.
And we have David Portnov. Okay, I'll mention them twice too. Everybody gets two shout-outs. Fuck it. This is a disaster now. It's fine.
We have Bookie.
Good job. We have Matt Jorgensen and Matt Jorgensen.
We have Dennis Robertson and also Dennis Robertson.
That's right. We have Raymond Crum and also special guest Raymond Crum.
We have Eric Peacock of the Soundtracker, who also is acquainted with Eric Peacock of Soundtracker.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating. We have Big Baker, also known as Big Baker, who is here with Big Baker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We have Game Johnson of Retrofits, Oh shit! I don't know the math. We have Game Johnson of retrofits also. It's gonna do a thing, but I'm bad with the school learning.
We have Not 60 who refuses to give up that which is now his, who is also, not 60.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have Addy XD.
Yes.
And also Addy XD, which is Addy X double D.
Who knows? We have Dr. Delicious, who is accompanied to the ring by Dr. Delicious.
We have this is good. We have Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40, who likes to talk to Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40, and this is where I break the bit for a second to say, hey, Bill has been dealing with a lot of serious personal shit. He posted this in his Discord for his show, so I don't mind saying it on our show. Sure. But I just want to say, Bill, if you are getting around to listening to this at any time in the near future, thinking about you, buddy, and hope you're doing well. And I'm glad that you're taking care of what you need to take care of.
Love you, Bill. You're a great guy. And finally, we have Blaine Faya, who is around here, and they're with Blaine Faya. I miss them saying that like that too. It's fun.
Yes. So yeah, this is a good time to fuck up the whole list, because you got to say it twice after many months.
That's right.
Of not saying that. Actually, a couple years now.
This was good. This was good. You know what? It wasn't a complete disaster. We saved it.
Yes. There we go. Thanks to everyone for supporting the show. It means the world.
It does.
So Justin, last week when I talked about Hell Is Us, I was about 5 hours in to Hell Is Us. Sure. So not really, I didn't really have a much deeper understanding of that game beyond that first demo period that I'd played. I am now 30 hours into Hell Is Us, and I'm on Act 3. And that game is criminally overlooked.
Okay.
I think it's incredible.
Okay.
But it's also one of those things, much like the 100-line Last Defense Academy. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, you just got to trust me, okay? Because I don't want to say too much.
Right.
Because that's like so much of the thing is like just unraveling the mystery of this game.
Sure.
I have not felt this way about just the feeling of tumbling down the rabbit hole since Myst.
Okay.
Because it's a thing where so I'm going to talk really broadly about a thing.
Sure.
But in Act 2, you're told you need to find these 3 things, right? Which is a pretty typical video game thing to do, right? Like Zelda does that a lot.
Yeah.
I remember Horizon Forbidden West doing it.
Oh,
also.
yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love Horizon, both of those games. Yeah. But in Horizon in particular, but even in like Breath of the Wild or a typical Zelda game, it'll be like, okay, here's the thing marked on your map.
Yeah.
Pick whichever one you want to go to. And then once you get to the first one on your map, whichever one you decided to go with, it's going to be a thing. Like maybe you solve a couple puzzles. Maybe you fight a boss. Maybe you go through a dungeon. Maybe it's a combination of those, one of 2 of those 3 things. It's usually not all of them.
Yeah.
You kind of know what you're doing the whole way. And you kind of know what to expect when you jump into that.
Sure. Yeah.
So when I was told that I had these 3 things to look for in Hell Is Us, at this point I had like someone kind of like helping me and kind of guiding me. And they were like, I've got these leads to choose from. And so the first one that I chose had 2 leads.
Okay.
And so the first one, I had to go to this government building to look for this official.
Okay.
But when I got there, the war had come to this area, and this government building had been attacked by, I think, the people. Like, it wasn't like the opposing military. I think it was the people. And that's another thing about this game, is that like the entire conflict going on it's hard on purpose to parse what's going on within this conflict.
Yeah, sure.
And you know, who is the instigator, you know, who is the defender, you know, what's going on and everything like that. It's one of the many mysteries in the game.
Sure.
And so when I get in there, the government guy was indisposed, and going through, I had to actually like basically I had to crack into his computer, and I had to like solve a bunch of puzzles to get there. But I also had to like help some people that were in the building for like different things, which those were side things to do. Although one of them was actually involved in the main plot.
Okay.
But that was like a whole like mini dungeon type thing, for lack of a better term, with like a lot of extra lore, a lot of like extra stuff to find, a lot of people to help.
Yeah.
And then that was just the one clue. And then I went to the other lead, which was a church that had, again, there was like a multiple stage puzzle here that I was like having to get to different parts of the environment to solve, while also helping survivors that were being attacked by the monsters.
Sure.
And every time that I would get a little bit deeper into this area, it was like, oh, there's this whole other shit going on, and just winding around into other places and being like, holy shit, what's down here? And then so those two leads got me the things that I needed to open this door that I had also found by talking to people.
Sure.
And so then I was like, okay, after all of that, opening this door is where the thing that I need is. And when I open this door, the thing's going to be there.
Right.
That was not the case, Justin.
Okay,
I
good.
opened that door, and there was another puzzle to solve within there. And I was like, holy shit, how deep does this shit go?
Yeah.
And then when I got through that puzzle door, I was not prepared for what I saw. And I'm not going to say what it was.
Sure.
But it blew my fucking mind. And that led into another, like, 3-hour odyssey before I finally, like, got to the thing that I was ultimately looking for.
Sure.
And if that sounds like a lot, it is. But I was completely enthralled the entire time, and I could not believe how elaborate it was, and also just like how smart I felt, like putting all of this stuff together and finding the shit. And that's that game to like basically to a T is just constantly like unraveling this tapestry.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't stop. And let's see, yesterday. So basically, like I finished Act 1 on Monday night.
Okay.
Tuesday, I found that first item. That was like the whole evening. Wednesday, I played for like 5 hours straight, and I got the second of the 3 items. And I was like, okay, cool. If I get the third one on Thursday night, then that's the end of Act 2, because I had looked up how long, like if that's all that you do. And so then I'll have like that done by today, and I can talk about that. The third one was actually like the most elaborate one, so I didn't actually finish that last night. I finished it today, and the only downside there was that like there was like a pseudo boss fight that was just like a really poorly designed thing where I was like, because one of my big complaints about the game is that there's a lack of enemy variety overall.
I was going to mention something like that because I remember watching it for a little bit. And I fell asleep watching it, and I woke up like hours later in the morning, and it was still on because it's a long game. And I was like, oh, right. And I was like, man, this looks like the same shit I just got done watching, because they're just fighting, you know, like the same enemies. And not that that's like a deal breaker or anything. I just remember noticing it. Like it just kind of looked a little samey.
It's not a deal breaker, but it's disappointing.
Right.
And then also, I do wish that there were boss fights, because the combat and like the way that abilities work and everything are, and also that healing mechanic, all feel like they're intended for much harder games. Because Hell is Us is actually not a challenging game.
Okay.
If anything, like I've gotten to the point where it's like I am not sweating pretty much anything.
Okay.
There are some enemies that will like take me down to like half health if I'm not paying attention. But at this point, I've got their patterns down. I can usually parry like most of their bigger attacks, or I can just like, if it's an enemy where I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to deal with that, I can just like fucking use an ability it's a pretty long cooldown, but I can just use that ability to just like make them irrelevant and just take them out, right?
Yeah.
And I wish that there was more to sink my teeth into enemy wise, because the combat itself is far better than the caliber of enemy that you're encountering.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Okay.
And I guess one other thing, and this is more a me thing. I think it probably depends on your personal preference.
Okay.
The writers are obviously fans of Final Fantasy.
Okay.
And I'm all for like putting a cheeky little reference to this or that in a game.
Yeah.
But at this point, I've probably seen about 17 or 18 like Final Fantasy names referenced in this game. And it's super distracting, and it's a bit much.
Right.
Like there was a woman, her last name was Tara, and she was waiting for this guy named Locke who was supposed to help her, and I was like, God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. And then I realized a little bit way too late into the game, because there's two people. There's the Sabinians and the Palamists.
Sure.
The Sabinians are named as such because they follow the teachings of Sabin Gao.
Yeah.
and then the Palamists worshipped Palom, which is one of the twins from Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah.
So even like the core struggle between these two people are a Final Fantasy reference, and it's just, I don't want to say it's lazy, but at a certain point you can go too far with your homage, right?
Yeah.
And that this game goes too far. And again, I think if you're not a Final Fantasy fan at all, like this is gonna be like nothing.
You wouldn't
right?
you wouldn't
won't
even
care.
notice it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, it's just like, oh god, here we go again. Like, I just saw a letter from like General Furion, and it's like, Jesus Christ, guys, like,
yeah.
But anyway, it's again not a deal breaker by any means.
Sure.
Like, I don't want to, I really don't like saying things when I'm in the middle of the game, but I am very high on this game.
Cool.
And I cannot sing the praises higher for it. It's so satisfying to like solve these puzzles, and like the way that like the solutions happen. Again, it really does remind me of Myst, where it's like, whoa, like I can't believe that just happened. Like when I put this thing in this thing, I had no idea this was going to happen, and holy shit, like there's all this other stuff going on now. And also it's like Control, where it's like, yeah, okay, I got a new weapon, I got a new like thing that I can equip, yay. Ooh, lore. like that's the thing where it's like, when I see the color for like a lore piece, I'm like, ooh, give it to me.
Yeah.
And the other stuff, I'm like, I mean, I'm pretty much kitted out now, so I've got the stuff that I want, so I don't really care about new equipment. I want that delicious, tasty lore.
Sure.
And that's I got off track. Last night I got the trophy for having talked to every NPC, and it bummed me out.
Oh, that is a little bit of a bummer. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, there's no more people to meet.
No.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
But it doesn't necessarily mean there won't be like other things that people have to say.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like,
yeah,
because like that stuff is so good. Oh, and on that note, just some of the excellent writing. So like in that government building, I found this dude in a break room that was just stoned off his ass. And at first you're like, oh, this is a funny character. He's stoned. He sounds really funny.
Yeah.
You start talking to him, and the more that because everybody has like, they've got two parts to their conversation that you can have.
Sure.
On the left is the stuff that pertains to moving the plot forward.
Okay.
On the right is just general questions that you can ask everybody.
Okay.
And it's always the same topics. And as I went through each of those topics, I was like, this dude is a fucking monster.
Oh, good.
And it was so cool to kind of see that slow reveal of like, at first he seems like this happy-go-lucky stoner who's just kind of like, hey man, whatever, like it's the end of the world, I'm just gonna be here doing my shit. And then it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is really like one of the big like things about this game is just like the astonishing inhumanity on display, not just what's going on in the current like conflict, but as you start to peel back the layers of history in this country. And it's like I got to a part today where I was just like, I'm going to be thinking about this for a really long time.
Okay.
And
cool.
Yeah, man, Hell Is Us is not to be missed.
Okay, cool.
Like I said, you know, it's got some issues and it's by no means a perfect game.
Yeah.
And
what is?
I can see some people being like really like bored with the combat because, you know, at this point it's kind of rote. Like, if anything, like I'm like, oh, all right, like I kind of didn't need like this big like wave of enemies to come in because like they're not even an issue for me. It's really just like you're just slowing me down from this goal that I've been reaching for this goal for the last 4.5 hours.
Right.
So I really don't appreciate this. It's also like really like surprisingly funny. So I will reveal this. So if you don't want like any spoilers, listeners, go ahead and skip forward about a minute.
Sure.
But I did, for something else, I did this like, again, a long series of like puzzles and stuff like that.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, I found this door. This emblem that I have goes in this door, and then this door is going to open to the next area. Put the emblem in the door opens, and there is a puzzle lock behind the door. And the person that's on my intercom is like, well, that's anticlimactic. And the main character is like, yeah, I'm actually a little annoyed.
yeah. That's good.
Yeah. No, fucking phenomenal game.
Cool.
Like,
cool.
So part of well, I'll get to it. There's things on my list to play this week that are like smaller games that I want to knock out. There's also I did pick up Ghost of Yotei. Like that was like
I did
my
as
kind of celebratory like kickoff to vacation.
Sure.
Thing, and I got that today. I did install it, and I played it for about half an hour.
I
but
did the same thing when I installed it and played it for. I was like, yeah, this is all right. Yeah, I played the intro bits.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that, but but my thing is that I need to see where this game is going.
You're in there again, now. Yeah.
It could be a thing where, like, when I get to the end, I'm like, well, that was ultimately unsatisfying as far as, like, you know. But at the end of the day, like, the journey has still been phenomenal. So I'm not gonna be too bent out of shape. But, you know, we'll see. But at this point, I'm like so locked in that I need to like get to the end of this before anything else.
I'm admittedly like that with Hades 2 right now, where I'm just like, I am very invested in kind of where that's going to and how all that shit's going to unfold. Because I see how to do it because they've shown me, but I just have to do it, and that's the tough part.
Right.
But it's that game's still fun.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts of like that first bit of Yotei?
Hold on 1 second, if you don't mind. Sure. Can I go get a drink real quick?
Actually, yeah, I could use
I'm
some.
sitting there like, I gotta, as soon as we're done here, I gotta get a drink real quick. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Justin, it sounds like we pretty much played about the same amount of Yotei, so you were going to tell me like your kind of first thoughts, and I'll give mine. Like, obviously, you know, we're really only talking about like about half an hour. Of it,
just about. That's about it. Like, watch the intro.
I got to the title card basically.
You got I think I got to a little bit maybe further than the title card, and like I don't know. I'm trying to think now. I know I went to like her childhood home.
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm supposed to go.
Okay, yeah, that's I got a little bit further than you. I did some of that stuff. Initial thoughts. A lot of it's like the first game was like a lot of the mini games are the same. Like the bamboo chopping shit and all that stuff is still there. The fighting feels, I don't know, fine, I guess.
So I have not played Ghost of Tsushima since 2020. I played it, got the platinum, and then I haven't touched it since.
Right.
But my memory of it, the combat in my head was like a lot different. Like I didn't really feel like I was like in control.
Yeah. Well, they don't. There's also the whole thing of they don't tell you the buttons that you need to press yet and how things work, because they don't tell you that until you get to the childhood home, and then they're like, here's how the combat works. And I was like, oh, this would have been probably good to know a little bit ago when I fought that boss in the first fucking 10
Full
minutes.
disclosure, I died on the tutorial boss.
Yeah, I did too. I super did too. I was like, oh, whoops.
Never a good feeling.
No. Yeah, they were like, you remember how to play, right? And I was like, no, not exactly, but I guess I'll hit buttons and see if it goes well. And I mean, eventually I got it. It wasn't that bad, but you know, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay so far. It's a very pretty game, especially once you get out into it,
dude.
Yeah.
So that was the thing, right? So look, we play a lot of different types of games, and my list ultimately, like when we get to the end of the year, is going to be very eclectic. Like there's going to be a lot of different art styles and a lot of different types of games, and this year may have more indie games than my list usually does, because I'm kind of the AAA guy, right? Between the two of us, like that's kind of my jam. But I appreciate all types of different games and whatnot, and like I think Hell is Us is a great looking game. Like I think. There's definitely been parts where I'm like, man, that's gorgeous, dude. Like the second that I fired up Ghost of Yotei, and I'm playing it on like a PlayStation 5 Pro on this like 85-inch screen, I was like, God damn!
Yeah, it's a very, very pretty game.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
And so as much as I appreciate different art styles, and I also think that like. It is perfectly acceptable to shoot for more attainable graphical goals. There's something to be said about someone who's just like, yo, but what if we just like push the envelope as much as we can?
Yeah.
But apparently, I just heard this anecdotally, so I don't know the validity to this. But apparently, Sucker Punch said that they spent around the same budget that they spent on Ghost of Tsushima.
I wouldn't doubt it.
In like the 60 million range, where Insomniac has reportedly spent like 400 million on Spider-Man 2, and it's like, all right, so there's definitely something going on vis-a-vis like poor management, right?
Sure.
Like poor planning of your project or whatever, when you have a game sequel set in the same environment as your previous game, but somehow you spend like almost $500 million making it, right? Where Ghost of Yotei, completely new environment, but using like similar bones to the game, but made for like a much more modest amount of money. Now obviously those aren't fully comparable, because one is like it's a big urban sprawl with like more people and whatnot, so there's considerations to be had. I'm just saying that like it's very interesting to me that this is like quite possibly the most beautiful looking video game that I've ever seen, made for a fraction of comparable like Sony properties, right? It's just, I don't know, I just find that very enlightening. Yeah.
No, it's beautiful. Like I said, especially once I got into the world of it, I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. The wind mechanic has always been cool. The story so far just kind of like reminds me of Kill Bill, really. I mean, that's just kind of, I mean, not 1-to-1, obviously. It's very much an old samurai take revenge kind of thing going on. I don't know where it's going to go.
Well, the funny thing is like how it's almost identical to the setup for Assassin's Creed Shadows, because it's like literally like 6 masked people like killing this girl's family and setting her village on fire.
Right.
And it's like, there's no way. I mean, like, these games were made in parallel,
right?
But it's just kind of funny that that's what they decided on. And I don't know if there is like a particular like samurai classic movie that was like
there
a
might be
thing.
There very well could be. Yeah. But yeah, so far from what I played, it's not too bad. Like I said, once they kind of taught me the controls, because they actually give you a actual combat tutorial when you go there. I was like, okay, yeah, this isn't too bad, and maybe it'll get better as I go. I don't hate it so far, the combat anyway. Haven't done any stealth.
I'm there for the stealth.
Yeah.
So like, I want to see, what, if any, changes they've made to that part of it.
Yeah. That was fun in the last game too, at least from my memory. So yeah, we'll see. I'm
digging the character.
She's cool.
Okay. As a DualSense slut, I love how this is like the first game since like Astrobot to really use the DualSense the way that it goes, and the fact that like you start the game by like writing the characters for the people that's on her kill list, using the trackpad, I thought was really cool. And then just as a character, right, like, it's very fucking badass that she's wearing that list as a belt. Yeah. And then when she kills the first guy in the demo, in the tutorial,
wipes the blood off to cross the name off. I was like, that's pretty good. So cool. That's pretty badass.
I was like, all right, you're already better than Jin. I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah, so I played that bit with Kim, and sometimes, like, depending on the game, like, she'll either be like, okay, this is one I'm gonna go do other stuff while you play, or this is one I'm gonna sit here and watch. And that one, she was like, you can't play this game without me being here. I'm into this one. This was awesome. I was like, okay, all right, cool.
I mean, it looks like you're watching a movie.
Yeah, I think that's what she got into. So yeah, very much.
And it's very cinematic, a little bit too cinematic, because like
sometimes
I noticed. So after the title card, I didn't play it very much, but as you're on the horse, like they letterbox it, and I'm like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
Again, well, we talked about this during the Cinemorons, so it wasn't on the main channel, but like, I want to fill this TV with this pretty image. Yeah. Like, I don't mind it if they do it for like, okay, because I think they did this in Tsushima also, where it's like, okay, here's a duel. We're going to like letterbox it to like really like make it look even more dramatic, but then pull it out and I'm good. Like, I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. I need to see, because I looked in the options to see if that's an option you can turn off. It's not, but I don't know if it's that way all the time or if it's just that beginning part of the game.
Now that you mention it, I can't remember it, so I think my brain almost just like blanks out letterboxing for the most part. I don't know what it is, like, because I'm so used to seeing it. The only time it doesn't is when I'm playing Skyrim and like certain what they call ENB settings or whatever will add letterboxing, and you notice it every time immediately, because that's not a letterbox game. So immediately you're like, what the fuck is wrong with this? Like, why did they do this? And then you fix it. But so far it's neat. I'm definitely gonna play more of it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's that's gonna be one of the big ones for the week.
I'm just hoping they, maybe don't put as much game in it or something, but or at least keep it intriguing through a lot of the game somehow. I don't know.
That's my thing. Like, or I would even be happy with like just a smaller overall area to
that'd be fine.
Than the first game.
Yeah, that'd be totally fine. We'll see how that goes though. I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out. There was a lot of problems I had with the first game. Ultimately, like it kind of wore me down by the end of it. I was just like, I just don't fucking care. Like, I just want this to be done. And then I ultimately ended up kind of negative on it. And I'm hoping this one. There's a good game in Ghost of Tsushima somewhere. Like if you cut that down a lot, or just I don't know. There's something. It got really repetitive. That's my fear.
I think for me a big thing was the size of that first area compared to the other two and then also I would have probably preferred like fewer instances of each of the things.
Yeah.
Like of the side activities, right? And maybe, and I know like this is all difficult, right? Like obviously when you create a mechanic or something, you want to get the most out of it.
Sure.
But I feel that like the Like a Dragon games are kind of like a really good model where it tends to be like, all right, we usually are only going to do like a thing like 3-ish times.
Yeah.
And there is a pretty good amount of variety or whatnot.
Yeah.
There might be some of the older games that do it worse than that, but
sure.
the ones that I've played like feel pretty good about that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Indeed.
I know my thing with the first game is that I ended up going for the platinum. Mainly, I mean, it was the pandemic, like there wasn't anything else out. But I know that like just the nature of doing everything in that first act before moving on, definitely burned me out, and I still had 2/3 of the game left to do.
Yeah. I did kind of similar.
I might mainline this one a little bit more and then see how I'm feeling.
There you go. Yeah. That might be the way to do it. We'll see.
Yeah. But I'm already on my photo mode bullshit.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very pretty game. Very intrigued by it.
Game.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Also, friend or like a mutual on Blue Sky let me know that you can actually combine all of those director modes together.
Oh, cool.
So if you want, you can have like the black and white Kurosawa mode with the music from the Samurai Champloo guy going on.
Oh, okay.
And the blood and mud effect from the Miike setting.
That's
all
cool.
At the same time.
That's
if
pretty
you want.
neat. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm probably just going to play it as it is.
Yeah.
But I do think it's cool that you can do that extra stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think so. We don't have a lot of comments, questions, or concerns, Justin. I think we'll go ahead and put a pin in those for next episode because a couple things. I'm on vacation and one of my goals is to remodel my office. And so I would prefer to get this episode edited as quickly as I can so that I can tear down this side of the office. But also I've got some other things that I'm working on that I'm going to need to spend time on. So that'll take some extra time.
Yeah,
so there's that. But also, gives it time for us to accrue some more comments, questions, or concerns. So
absolutely.
If you would like to submit a comment, question, or concern, there are lots of ways to get at us. You can email us. The email address is thestageselectpod@gmail.com. You can comment on the posts over on Patreon, YouTube, or Spotify. Or you can join our Discord. That's probably the best way to go because we have a really cool group in there. And there is a channel for comments, questions, or concerns in our Discord. And if you would like your mix judged, we're not going to be doing that every week. It's just happened that like I had a reason to do it this week.
Oh yeah.
But that'll be a ongoing bit.
Yeah.
And we'll
Oh, don't worry. I plan on submitting my own mixes for judgment at some point, and everybody can hate me for it. That'll be great. I can't wait.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Now I do really wish that we had a video component to the show because watching Justin's face during the reveals on some of these things is fucking priceless.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
But I think that's a show, Justin.
That seems like a show, Julian.
Yes. Thank you all for listening and checking out the show. Thank you to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for our theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to friend of the show, John Gholson, for being our announcer and providing us with our logo and artwork. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Stage Select. I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Ham. We've been the Stage Select. Pouring one out for Michael117. Signing off.
Absolutely. Uh-huh.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.